Welcome to Rapid Movie Recaps, where we see a sarcastic retelling of this absolutely logical and realistic movie where attackers come back to life and cars appear out of nowhere to save the day. Please subscribe, smash that like button, and turn notifications on. For real, just do it. It's not like you have anything better to do. And if you want to look as cool as the people in this absurd movie, check out our merchandise link below. You know you want to. So gather round, folks. We're diving into a cinematic masterpiece set in the beautiful toilet paper-deprived era of 2020. Enter Tyler, a young man out shopping for his precious TP when he receives some text from an oh-so-mysterious unknown number. The stranger wants to hang out because, social distancing is so overrated. Tyler, being the brave hero that he is, rejects the invitation. And what a shocker, he gets sent a totally creepy photo of himself waiting in line. But alas, Tyler couldn't figure out who the paparazzi was. So he does what any rational person would do, answers the phone call from the unknown number and tells the caller to take a hike. After surviving this harrowing ordeal, our hero Tyler returns home, making sure to maintain that 6-foot distance from a random person sitting on the steps. Because, hey, at least he's being somewhat responsible. Upon entering his apartment, he begins unpacking his groceries, the real priority here. But wait, there's more. Tyler's apartment door is wide open, and the hallway lights are blinking like a low-budget haunted house. And now, dear viewers, we're treated to the pinnacle of horror movie cliches. The TV springs to life like a poltergeist-infused Best Buy display. Tyler, obviously terrified, turns it off, only to be ambushed by a hooded figure with a knife. Because why not? Our brave, yet not-so-bright protagonist fights off the attacker and retreats to the bedroom. The attacker tries kicking in the door, original right, but Tyler blocks it with a desk. Thank goodness he didn't skip leg day. Now, here's where things get truly absurd. Tyler arms himself with a baseball bat instead of, calling 911 like a normal person. He ventures out to find the attacker and, surprise, gets ambushed from behind. Spoiler alert, Tyler's throat gets slit and he's out of the picture. Now let's meet our next potential victims, MIRA and Parker. They're headed to Parker's lake house for some fun quarantine times because who wouldn't want to escape to a remote cabin during a pandemic? Parker takes a selfie, posts it on social media, and basically invites every psycho stalker to her family's lake house. They arrive at their fancy isolation haven, and while cleaning groceries so relatable, Parker gets a text from an unknown number. She brushes it off because, stranger danger is so passé. Later, the two friends are sunbathing, living their best lives, when Parker gets another text. This time, it's urging her to jump in the lake. What could possibly go wrong? Instead of freaking out, she tells MIRA, then blocks the number, a decision that's sure to work out just fine. And now, back to the lake house of questionable decisions. Parker finds an open cabin door, but there's no one there. She shrugs it off like any sane person would because, hey, unexplained open doors are totally normal, right? Later that night, the two friends are watching the news, the kind that's totally not fear-mongering, when they hear mysterious rumbling noises outside. They peek out the window and spot someone lurking. Obviously, this calls for some kitchen knife action. As they arm themselves, the doorbell rings. Parker bravely tries to communicate with the world's most impatient visitor, but all they get is more knocking and doorbell ringing. So she takes the knife from MIRA and inches the door open, only to find no one. Classic. She yells for the invisible intruder to reveal themselves, but silence is all she gets. But wait, there's a twist. A figure sneaks up behind MIRA and reveals himself as DJ, Parker's surprise fling who decided to crash their pandemic party. He claims he missed her so much that he just had to come, because that's not creepy at all. Reluctantly, the two friends let him stay, even though they're worried about catching COVID-19. Later that night, our three musketeers of social irresponsibility gather around a bonfire. Parker and DJ get all cozy, while MIRA maintains some semblance of social distancing. They indulge in some herbal relaxation and dance in the basement, because what could be more fun during a pandemic? Exhausted from their wild night, they swap stories in the living room until MIRA decides she's had enough and heads to bed. Cue the drama. Parker and DJ argue about his unannounced visit, as she wanted a break from him. But DJ's got bigger concerns, like a scandalous Instagram video of Parker kissing a college friend named Benji. Parker insists that she and DJ were never exclusive, so she should be free to lock lips with whoever she pleases. But DJ believes they have a deeper connection and wants Parker to admit it. Sadly for DJ, Parker shuts him down and heads back into the house. As he follows, we're treated to a glimpse of a hooded figure lurking in the darkness. Spooky. Inside, Parker confides in MIRA about her intense conversation with DJ. And of course, the hooded figure is now watching from the end of the hall. because why not add a little more suspense to this already ridiculous film? After Parker bids MIRA goodnight, she retreats to her room, completely unaware of the hooded figure expertly tailing her. She drifts off to sleep while the figure swipes her phone like some B-grade horror movie Pickpocket. DJ, unable to find his phone, goes on a search mission that's rudely interrupted by the loudest music ever, courtesy of the world's worst DJ. Parker wakes up, panics when she can't find her phone, and goes to tell DJ to cut the noise. But plot twist. DJ reveals that there's an intruder. Together, they discover their phones are missing, quell surprise, and they hatch a brilliant plan. DJ gives Parker his car keys and instructs her to start the car while he rescues MIRA. Parker, displaying all the grace of an Olympic sprinter, dashes outside and spots the hooded figure in MIRA's room. She screams just as the figure tries to stab her friend. Fear not, DJ swoops in to save the day. He fends off the attacker, tells MIRA to run, and bravely battles for his life. Eventually, DJ manages to knock down the attacker with a stuffed stag's head, who said taxidermy couldn't be useful. Sadly, DJ gets stabbed in the thigh and the attacker starts wildly swinging his knife like a deranged circus performer. Meanwhile, Parker and MIRA anxiously wait in the car, clearly offering all the moral support they can muster. The attacker stabs DJ with the enthusiasm of a madman while DJ fumbles for the door. He finally gets outside, but it's not looking good. Parker investigates, only to find DJ suspended in midair, thanks to a stick impaled in his back. Talk about innovative weaponry. The intruder finishes DJ off, and Parker, in a fit of bravery, screams and drives away, completely oblivious to the slash tire. Of course, they crash into a ditch because why not add a car accident to the mix? The attacker is already on the scene, hurling a brick through the window. Parker and MIRA make a run for it, dashing back into the house and barricading themselves in the attic. But alas, the window won't open. The attacker, ever persistent, bangs on the attic door. MIRA holds it shut with all her might, but it's no match for their knife-wielding foe. Parker kicks the intruder down the stairs, and then in a moment of sheer genius, hurls a heavy box at the window, finally shattering it. The two attempt a daring rooftop escape, but the attacker isn't done yet. He reaches through a tiny window, shoves MIRA down, and ruins their chances of becoming Olympic gymnasts. Parker scrambles back inside, finds her path to MIRA blocked, and heads to the kitchen for the ultimate showdown. She bashes the attacker with a drawer, pelts him with plates, and beats him until he collapses. With the determination of someone who's finally had enough, she smashes his head repeatedly, ensuring he won't be bothering them again. Just when Parker thinks the nightmare is over, surprise, another hooded figure, possibly the late attacker's twin, shows up and mourns his fallen comrade. While he's busy grieving, Parker discovers MIRA is still alive, though injured. Parker, ever the strategist, tells MIRA to play dead and hide. As the new attacker steps out, he checks on MIRA, while Parker watches from behind a tree, like some horror movie ninja. She throws a rock as a distraction, and then sprints towards the lake. The killer catches up, but Parker whacks him with an oar and sets herself adrift on a floating dock, leaving the attacker to watch from the shore. Back at the house, MIRA channels her inner warrior and limps inside with a broken leg. Meanwhile, Parker rows through the darkness until the attacker, who must be part fish, ambushes her from underwater. With an impressive display of fear, she panics as he stabs through the boat, ultimately injuring her hand. Parker leaps into the water and swims to safety. MIRA, now a makeshift doctor, uses a broken chair to support her injured leg. Parker arrives at a neighbor's cabin, but no one answers her desperate pounding, so she breaks in like a seasoned burglar, only to be confronted by the owner, armed with a shotgun. A quick reminder that she's friends with his daughter diffuses the situation. In yet another unexpected twist, the supposedly dead attacker wakes up and MIRA, now a do-it-yourself medical expert, crawls to reach a kitchen knife and stabs him in the neck. Fingers crossed, he's finally dead for real this time. Meanwhile, Parker plays hide-and-seek with the remaining attacker in the woods. After a scuffle, she runs towards an approaching car, driven by the ever-so-convenient Pamela. Safety at last? Nope. Pamela won't let Parker in without a mask, as if a knife-wielding attacker isn't enough of an emergency. Finally, inside the car, Parker starts to feel drowsy. Surprise, the mask is laced with chloroform. Back at the house, MIRA watches as Pamela and the attacker carry an unconscious Parker inside. Plot twist alert. The dead attacker was their son, and now they're doing a swab test on Parker, probably to make sure she's COVID-19 free before they begin their heartfelt intervention. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ultimate exposition. Benji, the boy Parker kissed on Instagram, was the younger son of our two vengeful attackers. He died 3 days ago from COVID-19, and they blame Parker for infecting him. To make matters worse, they even killed poor Tyler, who supposedly infected Parker. Talk about a convoluted revenge plan. In a ridiculous turn of events, our do-it-yourself medical expert MIRA, now an expert in stealth, crawls towards her laptop to message 911. But oh no, the message doesn't send. She tries texting her dad, but alas, Jason notices the blinking Wi-Fi router. Dun dun dun. As Jason goes outside to check if Miri's body is still there, Miri takes the opportunity to sneak behind Pamela and, with a swift blow, sends her flying out the window. Hearing the commotion, Jason comes back inside for the final showdown. Miri and Parker, now a dynamic duo, defeat Jason in a hilariously over-the-top manner. Miri saws his light with an electric carving knife, while Parker pushes him down the balcony to be impaled by stuffed antlers. How poetic. Finally safe and sound, our two survivors escape in Parker's old dune buggy. Because, why not? In this bizarre adventure, anything goes. And here we are, folks, at the grand final. Miri attempts to start the dune buggy, but surprise, surprise, it's out of fuel. Just as Parker tries to refill it, Pamela comes sprinting with a hatchet, because why wouldn't she? Although she misses Parker, she does manage to hit the fuel container, making the situation even more dire. While Pamela and Parker duke it out, our trusty heroine Miri, still crawling around, spots a lighter. Parker douses Pamela with gasoline, and Miri comes to the rescue, setting the vengeful mother on fire. Pamela runs into the streets, burning to death in a glorious display of over-the-top revenge gone wrong. The movie wraps up with our two friends walking side by side, emerging victorious from the chaos. And of course, the cops arrive late because, well, what's a chaotic, satirical horror without the cliché of delayed law enforcement? Want to own this absurd spectacle? Check the link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe for more rapid movie recaps, where we condense all the ridiculousness for your viewing pleasure.